Some American and their joint Lords of the Night live stream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Reject PPC and the One-Ton Hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One-Ton Hammer.
I will be your zookeeper tonight, Reject.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Lucky Pop-Tart Inquisitor.
Sanguine.
Skep Tock.
I'm Prospero.
Cassie. And I'm Delahazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions, and special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Let's be xenophobic. It's really in this year. Let's find a nasty, slimy, ugly alien to fear. There's no more cutesy stories about E.T. phoning home. Let's learn to love our neighbors like the Christians learned in Rome. We know we ought to hate them. They're different, you see. We've seen they're mean and ugly on movies and TV. The folks that ought to know have told us how it's got to be. The gospel truth is found in scenes from Alien and V. Let's wipe out any life form that seems to be a threat. We'll serve them up a genocide they never will forget. 'Cause if we miss a couple, they'll breed a couple more. And soon we'll all be hating twice as many as before. You see, aliens can never be as good as humankind. A more delightful race than us you'll never ever find. So step aside, you star slime, we're ready for your worst. We know you want to beat us, enslave us and defeat us, oppress us and browbeat us unless we get you first.
Hello everyone, welcome to the zoo. I'm your Zookeeper tonight, Inquisitor. Minions joining me are Eeyore.
Good evening, one and all.
Good evening, one and all. And Johnny Hellcat.
Hello.
Hello. How are you gentlemen this fine evening?
Extremely bored and wish there was actual football this week.
Ah, you're waiting on the foosball, the big foosball event, huh?
Yes, and I was extremely disappointed by this week's events.
Ah, why's that?
Flag football. Need I say more?
Well, lack of football, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Nah, it's fine.
I am disappointed that it was delayed a week.
No, it went off on schedule.
Well, it went off on their schedule, not the one I went from last year. Because if it was supposed to go the way it went this year than it did last year, then it would be today on my birthday.
Well, the issue is they've added week 18 this year.
And
That's
happy
why.
birthday, by the way, Johnny. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And
Yeah,
I
I-
actually agree to the addition of week 18.
Well, they can move the beginning of the year back and give me my birthday Super Bowl back.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down for it. Yeah,
Well, I really don't understand why the preseason isn't rolled into the regular season myself.
Not even in frame. Holy shit. I'm such an amateur. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Football just seems to, like, go on and on and on and on. It seems like you have more time where you've got football games going on than you do off season, you know?
And yet, from my point of view, the off season is too damn long.
Well, I think that way about hockey too. I mean, hockey is a sport that I actually want to watch, and I think that for the most part, there's more time without hockey games than there are hockey games.
Unless I'm very much mistaken, in hockey you get a lot more games.
You do.
You also have a longer overall season, if I recall correctly. Early September through till including playoffs, April.
About that, yeah, it seems like.
If there's any disruption in the season, you can see June hockey.
Yeah, true. And it's good because that's possible now with indoor and cooled stadiums, controlled ice.
Controlled ice.
Rather than having to wait until winter. Although they
On
still
that front, I do agree. However, the implication of temperature-controlled sporting venues, there's some controversy regarding that in the NFL.
Well, I would say the big one for the NFL is the fact that there's no such thing as a rain out or a snow out.
Well, kind of, sorta. There are delays for thunderstorms.
Yeah, but I mean, in a domed stadium, they're not gonna have to call the game because of rain and thunderstorms.
Mm-hmm.
They can just close the
The
door.
issue is that a modern stadium costs so much that the cities that have modern stadiums are pretty much the only ones that can afford it.
Yeah.
Heck, it is so bad that the Bears are considering moving out of Chicago.
Well, they are. Last I heard, it's a done deal. They're going to going out of Soldier Field and going on to some new place they're going to be building in Arlington Heights.
Yeah, but using the property of the old raceway out there.
Yeah, the old horse race.
And from what I've heard, the Arlington purchase deal isn't finalized. And then there is leasing issues with Soldier Field.
I heard it was, and not only that, all of the pubs, literally outside of the racetrack, which I've driven by, all have massive Chicago Bears, like decals and shit like that in all their windows and shit like that, because just like all of the pubs outside of Wrigley Field, their business is selling proximity to the field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I have no doubt that the Bears are heading up that way. Because it'll be cheaper to create a modern boxed-in stadium than to renovate Soldier Field again.
Yep.
And even a post-renovation and doming Soldier Field won't be able to offer the same amenities that a fresh-built stadium will.
Yep. It's Soldier Field showing its age. Now, do I think that they should get rid of Soldier Field? No. That's like a landmark in Chicago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But, can they repurpose Soldier Field for something else? Yeah, of course. I think the Chicago Fire play there, so.
And by Fire you mean the soccer team?
Yeah, their soccer team. And then I know for a fact that the Hawks, whenever they play an outdoor game, they go to Soldier Field.
Mm-hmm. Well, my team actually is dealing with a similar issue with a bit more of a...
When did you own a team, Eeyore?
The team I subscribe to.
There you go.
Is dealing
I always
with
love we won this game. It's like, you did not.
Oh, come on. So what if it's narratively grammatically slightly off?
Well, they
You
wouldn't have
still-
done it without my support.
Yeah, there you go. My OC
Yeah.
team.
Okay. What I'm saying is the Chiefs are dealing with a similar issue because Arrowhead is one of the front runners for FIFA 2026 hosting ship.
Mhm.
And it's bringing up a whole lot of, do we renovate? Do we wait until the Royals move out and build a new stadium?
Okay.
Renovations would cost over $2 billion. I don't even know if Kansas City, Missouri has that available.
Well, I'm sure the Chiefs have that available. So if someone makes something available for them, then I'm sure that they could help fund that in like an effort of philanthropy.
Eh.
It's just that they need someplace to go. So if they get rid of their stadium, I'm sure the owners of the Chiefs will be able to help renovate.
Clark Hunt is against tearing down Arrowhead.
Oh, renovate, not tearing down.
Yeah. But a renovation would be so freaking expensive.
It would be. It would be. But, you know, these are the things that you gotta do while you're the owner of a, you know, multi-billion-dollar enterprise like a modern sports team. So.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, it's probably the most important stadium in the AFC, so there's historical sides to it. And yes, I said AFC. I will bow to Lambeau being more important for the NFL engine.
Tom Skerritt.
Who?
Tom Skerritt is going to be at the Emerald City Comic Con.
Ah.
Garrett.
He was the one of the guys from Top Gun. Tom Cruise's superior.
Okay. I was gonna say the name sounded familiar. I was just trying to place a face to the name.
And apparently the cast of Scream.
Well, you know they're coming out
original.
with a new one, right? A new Scream.
Original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nev Campbell's going to be in the new one.
Yeah. She's actually going to be at the Comic Con too.
I sincerely hope that they get her a nice walker for the movie.
Matthew Lillard's in there going to be there. Pete Ulrich is going to be there. Who is this? Jamie Kennedy.
Oh, God. Really? Why?
Yeah. No idea.
He's probably going to be in the new movie.
Probably.
Did you see the Jamie
The
Kennedy?
guy that blocked me on Twitter over a deer is going to be there.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Someone blocked you over a deer?
over the shooting of a deer.
Oh, why?
I'm thinking it's because he's a vegan piece of shit. But
okay, well, yeah, nothing of value was lost there. So
Yeah.
although I don't know because he didn't explain anything. He's just said, "Oh, this movie is part of this quote unquote right wing propaganda piece. It was for the Run Hide Fight movie.
I have no idea what that is.
I think it was put together by like Ben Shapiro's company or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And I just mentioned, like, if they had shot the deer and it was done legally and it was processed and, you know, nothing went to waste, I don't see the problem with it. And I was immediately blocked.
Well, it's because
And I'm like, oh,
it's
you're a
because-
piece of shit.
It's because you weren't sucking his dick like every single person on Twitter. That's all they want.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, what did I say that was wrong?
You weren't sucking his dick. You weren't telling him how right he was.
Yeah.
You offered your own opinion, and we can't have those on Twitter.
Well, I was raised in a tiny town where, you know, you could go out and shoot a deer and give some of the meat away to whoever was needing it.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of hunters that do. Either where they sell it to like a butcher shop and, you know, resells it and butchers it for fairly cheap.
Yeah.
Which is fairly common to do around here.
David Tennant's going to be there.
Oh.
That's the well, between Tom Skerritt and Ray Wise. Ray Wise is going to be there. Yeah, it would be interesting. David Tennant is the huge nerd reason to be there.
Of course. Yeah. Especially considering I've heard that he's the new Doctor now. Like,
he is the new old Doctor.
Yeah. Like, they went back to David Tennant being the Doctor after their failed experiment of Femme Doctor.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that for Doctor Who, that's one of the few times where a female Doctor actually is canonically correct.
Well, a female version of the character could be canonically correct. Which, yeah, I agree. It's just that the problem was that they had garbage writers for the show after that. They lost so many loyal fucking viewers after they did that shit. And it wasn't because it was a woman. It was because their writing was social justice bullshit that no one wanted to watch.
Well, what do you expect from the second most cuck nation on Earth?
Yeah.
I'm standing by that, Simius. Standing right by it.
What?
Eve tweeted out a thing that's like, how many of these have you done? It's a list of like drinking, smoking, had sex, blah blah blah, and each has like a 10-point value next to it. And I put 20 because I'm a good boy.
Oh. Well, that's not.
You know, I'm gonna plead the fifth on that.
Smart.
Now I'm curious. I need to go and see what my score is.
Let's see. I will.
Yeah, if you want to read it, and I'll just say. That's one way.
Okay, so let's see here. Been in a relationship for 10 points.
Yes.
Kissed for 10 points.
Yes.
Had sex for 10 points.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe I could go with 30. Smoked for 10 points.
Yes.
Got drunk.
Yes. Several times.
Done drugs.
Yes.
Masturbated.
Of course.
Sent nudes.
No.
Had oral.
Yes.
Skipped school.
Yes.
That's all 10 questions.
Oh, okay.
Perfect score.
Well, no, I had one that I said no.
Nope, I got a perfect score.
Oh, you got a perfect score.
Donkey's here spreading his nudes around.
Yeah, see, I there's just part of my brain that just
you can catch Donkey on OnlyFans now.
No. I guess that does require context. It was two person I had a relationship with.
No, there's no context required. You know, well, hey man, you got an OnlyFans? We'll shill it for you, man.
I don't got no OnlyFans. I ain't no whore.
Hey! We all love whores here at the Minions of the Zoo. Simia said, Inquisitor, what's my take on the Silver Knight of Slaanesh? It's in the Codex, it's canon, and so on and so forth. The problem is that a lot of people are speculating on things, and they take their speculations as 100% fact. It's heavily alluded to the fact that the Silver Knight of Slaanesh is a fallen Grey Knight who made it all the way to Slaanesh's, pleasure palace and then fell before Slaanesh. Others just say it was a space marine clad in silver-colored armor. Do you realize how many chapters of Space Marines there are that are, have silver armor? There's tons. And then I've heard speculations about. Yeah, Simi's just asked, who do you think it is? There's speculations about that too. If it is a Grey Knight, it could very well be one of the founders of the Grey Knights chapter. If it is one of the founders, it could be very well anyone. Magnus had some fragments of himself that were Space Marines that were part of the founding members of the Grey Knights. It could very well be... and another thing that people don't mention too, silver armor could also be unpainted armor, and therefore could also be a reference to the Knights Errant, which were the Space Marines that effectively became Ronin during the Horus Heresy. So they very well could be literally anyone, my man. So there's part of me that thinks that there's some sort of significance to it, but at the same time, I don't think that there is. I think that it's just a really cool story to tell of a Space Marine that, goes through all of these trials and tribulations, makes his way literally to the God of Excess, and is getting poised to defeat Slaanesh, and then Slaanesh is a god and makes him kneel before him. So, I don't know. I think it's just more of a story. It's more apocryphal than literal. It's myth and legend. That's 40K in a nutshell. I mean, come on. And yeah, I doubt it's a Grey Knight. Yeah, I do too. Mainly because they mention nothing about the power of the Aegis. Every Grey Knight has to go through the soul binding with the Emperor, and I very, very highly doubt that a Grey Knight would be able to stand in front of Slaanesh and be corrupted in the final bit of it. A Grey Knight would stand and fight all the way until death. There's no way that he wouldn't. So, yeah, I agree.
If we're talking about a traitor, then I don't care who he was. His pronouns need to be was. I'm not wrong.
Have you do you know the story of the Silver Knight of Slaanesh?
Not precisely, though my previous comments probably denote my interest in this specific traitor.
Hang on one second. I can even read it. Here, give me 1 second. Let me just do this real quick.
Great. Story hour with quiz.
Mara Wilson's going to be at this convention. For being that kid from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Wait, what?
Mara Wilson? The gal from says Matilda and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay. What about her?
She's going to be at the convention as well.
Oh, why?
That's a good question.
Okay, so here, I've got the Demon Codex in front of me. Let me find the entry, and I will read the whole thing. It's actually really interesting.
Of course you casually have a Demon Codex.
Well, my roommate. My roommate has it, because he plays...
You know your roommate is a traitor.
Of course. His main army is the Black Legion. Of course he's a traitor.
That I share my opinions that I stated previously about him. His pronouns need to become was immediately.
Alright. Where's the... Slaanesh, Entities of Excess. Where is it? I know I read it in here. It might be in Slaanesh's entry in the data sheets.
What in the shit?
Exalted Keepers of Excess. The Book of Excess. Is it not in this? Relics of Slaanesh. No, it'd be in lore stuff in the front. Okay. Hold on. Let's put it this way. Between the two of us, me and my roommate, the only books we don't have are for specific armies that neither one of us have even a fighting force for. So we don't have Grey Knights, we don't have Death Watch, we don't have Death Guard, although that may change when my roommate finally starts collecting Death Guard. My roommate has already pre-ordered the World Eater Codex. He has a full fighting force for demons, so he has the Demon Codex. It's Bellacore.
Demons.
Yeah, he's got a Corn Demon army with a couple of like Slaanesh, or no, not Slaanesh. He has a couple Tzeentch demons.
Not even pure corn.
Well, he does. He has like. Let's put it this way: he could field.
You said a couple of Tzeentches.
Well, he does, but I think it's only like a chariot. But literally everything else is corn, including a Bloodmaster, a Skull Taker, Exalted Demon, Exalted Bloodthirster, Karanak, 2 squads of Fleshhounds, 2 squads of Blood Crushers, 5 squads of Bloodletters, or maybe even 6, I think, at this point. Oh, you have 3. Okay. He has 5 Bloodletters and 3 Fleshhounds. Yeah, no, he's got a ton.
Good. Proper size 4-night army.
Oh, you know what? I guarantee you it's not in here. Hold on. Hold on! Yeah, no, the Silver Knight of Slaanesh is not in this. Hold on. It's in the 8th edition codex. I'm so wrong. Hold on. I've got the 8th edition codex for demons on my computer. On my Superbox. Wait, no I don't. Fuck! I completely forgot I got rid of all of it. I nuked that folder. Alright, hold on. I can find it. Let's see here. Demon Codex 8th edition PDF.
Instead of putting our lovely audience through all of this, can you just tell me if Baldy has a video yet?
Voldemort about the Silver Knight of Slaanesh? I don't think so. There are a couple of videos about the Silver Knight of Slaanesh.
The usual suspects?
No, I don't think so. I think Major Kill has one, but I think he's
Major Kill wouldn't be on the usual subject. Nothing from Luton?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Luton has one.
I would have expected if any esoteric 40k topic would be around, Luton would have a 2-hour video on it.
Yeah.
You know how he is.
He is that autistic about things, yeah. No, it's not in the timeline stuff, I don't think.
How long is Buddy's video on bolt shells?
Okay, here we go. Some say it is impossible for mortals to look upon the divine face, hold on. I think I may actually be starting too far. Yeah, I'm starting too far. 1 second. Palace, nope, hold on. It's more than that. Alright. Slaanesh was given life by the immortality and hubris of the ancient Eldari civilizations. As their empire reached its zenith, their people became lost in their own decadence. For their experience, they experienced sensation to a far greater degree than any other species. The capabilities of their highly advanced technology meant that the Eldari did not need to labor or wage war. Instead, they were able to dedicate their lives to whatever ideal pursuits their fancy. Over many generations, idolants came to rule their spirits. In the Immaterium, their reflections of their excess caused a new chaos power to stir, creating the pure indulgence, and first motes of Slaanesh began to coalesce. The dormant Slaanesh fed upon the unchecked psyche of the Eldar, drawing upon their lust and ambition, their artistry and pursuit of excellence. In turn, as Slaanesh grew, its nascent dreams trickled into the minds of the Eldari and fueled their desires, pushing them ever onwards towards their doom. Eventually, the Eldari civilization devolved into little more than the pleasure cults dedicated to every act of physical, mental, and spiritual fulfillment. Blood stained the statuary of their plazas as crowds of drug-addled maniacs sated their violent desires in the streets. On one particular depraved night, the debauchery reached a terrible crescendo that tore out the heart of the Eldar Empire and left it ravaged beyond recovery. The fall of the Eldari was signaled by the birth scream of Slaanesh, a tsunami of emotion that announced the Prince of Pleasure's arrival to the realm of chaos. The psychic implosion caused by Slaanesh's creation swallowed hundreds of worlds at the heart of the Eldari civilization, killing billions of their race in an instant and devouring a great section of the galaxy in the process. Such was its ferocity that it overwhelmed the barrier between the real and unreal, forming the massive warp rift known as the Eye of Terror. Rampant and hungry, Slaanesh devoured the minds of the Eldar and across the galaxy, and the race was almost wiped out. Even their gods were slain, all but 3 of their pantheon devoured. Of their once great empire, only a relative few Eldari survived Slaanesh's birth feast. Most of the survivors became sworn enemies of the Dark Prince, and yet a number of them had formed isolated cabals that still behave as their ancestors did, perversely following the downward spiral of excess. That is how the events viewed from the chronology of the material universe. In the warp, things are very different. From the Immaterium is not bound by linear time, and events do not occur in a strict sequence of cause and effect. As his rival gods reckon it, Slaanesh has always existed, and yet never existed at all. While the other Chaos Gods rarely welcome intruders into their lands within the Immaterium, Slaanesh loves to tempt visitors to his unnatural domain, and those that dare enter the Lord of Pleasure's territory risk becoming trapped in its warped delights for eternity. Slaanesh's realm is divided into 6 domains, arranged in concentric rings about the Palace of Pleasure. Each of these is a celebration of Slaanesh's desires, and while they might be mistaken for paradises, nothing in the lands of the Dark Prince is ever as it seems. An intruder can only reach the Palace of Pleasure in the very heart of Slaanesh's territory by passing through all 6 of the circles, an act of will beyond most souls, both mortal and demonic. One amongst mortal visitors to his realm still looms large in the memory of Slaanesh, however. A wandering knight of the Adeptus Astartes whose resolve was as strong as silvered adamantium. The first circle, the knight pushed through, was richly appointed beyond the dreams of kings. Mountains of stacked gold reached towards rainbow mosaics of gemstones in the marble vaults high above. Glittering ingots and diamonds beyond count littered the ground. The knight marched past all the starving wretches attempting to count the innumerable gold coins, their sallow faces twisted with mounting greed until their piles toppled, and weeping, they had to start all over again. At every corner and crossroads stood gilded statues, some of beautiful Slaanesh, others of demons and mortals trapped in blissful ecstasy. The trails of the diamond dust underfoot betrayed the fact that the statues were once flesh and blood. The knight had left notions of material wealth long behind, and he strode on without touching a single coin. Crunching his way across a beach of golden teeth, the knight came to the shores of a vast lake of dark wine. The lake was... Hold on. Gotta go to the next page. The lake was dotted with pallid islands formed of the backs of giants, each linked with crisscrossing bridges. The backward hands of each giant held up a table that groaned under the weight of a lavish feast. There he saw mortal men gorging themselves on the banquet, wide-eyed and desperate in their hunger, as others frantically tried to gulp down the lake itself. The bloated and obese moaned in pain as they were crammed ever more food and wine into their stained mouths. The knight pressed on, distaste twisting his features as he passed the grisly remains of those who had consumed so much that they had physically burst apart. The wanderer made his way through the fields of golden light and soft hay where lithesome maidens and beautiful youths frolicked near naked in the hallucinogenic musk of live beasts that cavorted with them. The faces and fertile forms of the dancers were almost impossibly sensual, molded to the perfect desire of the heart. The knight held his breath as he closed his eyes, for though the mortal pleasures were forbidden to his order, part of him was still a man. And crooning nymphs gathered around the knight, stroking his silvered armor and whispering the sweet carnal pleasures that they would give him. But he yielded not. The several limbs and heads that lay beyond the underfoot spoke of the truth behind the honeyed eyes. Eyes shut, he cut down the demonette seductresses around him, one after the other, letting revulsion guide his shining blade. After fighting his way through the feminine contours of the foothills ahead, the knight emerged onto a balcony where he was greeted by roars of adulation and approval. An army of space marines so vast that its number was beyond counting, waiting before him on an endless plain, listening with fevered anticipation of his commands for conquest. Planetary governors nodded in obliquous anticipation, and the high lords of Terra smiled upon him from smaller balconies of their own, motioning for him to speak. The knight recognized one of the rulers from his own mortal life, and stood before him, looking deep into the eyes of the philosopher kings behind the mask of power and self-assurance. He saw eternal nagging paranoia gnawing suspicion and hidden doubts that were acid to the soul. The knight shook his head and sadly walked away. Wearied by his ordeals, the wanderer strode through the mesmerizing woodland paradise, its maze of pathways thick with flowers and heavy with thorns. The gentle, fragrant breeze whispered to the knight of past glories, reminding him of the executions that he had performed in the Emperor's name. Mirrored pools reflected the knight as a shining saint, his face serene but his sword bloodied as he artfully carved apart rank after rank of red-skinned demons. The warrior turned away, troubled. In the distance, he could make out tortured figures staring intently into the mirrored pools of their own, each held immobile by the undergrowth as whispering thorns insinuated themselves into their flesh. The wanderer turned his mind to the humility of the cell he once called home. As he did so, the path through the maze withered and straightened out before him. So the knight trudged on. An endless breach stretched away from the night, and heavenly choirs sung soothing lullabies as the perfumed sea lapped at the fortress walls of his mind. The wanderer's bones cried out for rest, even if only for a moment. The warmth of the golden sun above him calmed his soul, and the tide began to erode his will. His tired eyes could barely stay open, but his vision was still clear enough to see the horrid truth. The bone-white sand was made from the remains of those who had rested here and fallen into a coma of blissful indolence. His resolve hardened, and the knight strode toward the shimmering palace in the distance. It was there, beneath the elegant spires, the wanderer came before almighty Slanesh. Statuesque and divinely glamorous, the deity visited him in the form of a young man possessed of an androgynous beauty. Clean-limbed and fresh with the vigor of youth, the knight unsheathed his rune-etched sword, so we know, at least for rune-etched sword, that he is at least a librarian, and made to strike him down. To his horror, he found that he could not, for the god prince was disarming in his innocence and utterly beguiling in his manner. Even the purest flame can be extinguished by the tide. In that single moment of doubt, the wanderer was lost. He knelt, bowing his head at last, and the single touch from the being's glowing scepter on each shoulder sealed his fate for eternity.
So you're saying that you can read for me next time?
Sure.
No, I've been working on doing. I've been doing streams where I read articles. when I actually am able to stream. But my reading sucks.
Well, it's definitely a practiced ability. If you don't use it, you lose it. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
When able to stream, is Susan getting in your way?
No, life is getting in my way.
Life is getting in the way.
Fair enough. However, I will not sulk away the opportunity to say those so familiar lines. Fuck you, Susan.
Oh, of course. Susan can go fuck herself. And YouTube is a joke of a platform. Oh, yeah, no, something that I came across today and I thought was fairly funny, and I think apropos that I was mentioning it on the Minions, is I saw a little ad on YouTube today that said something along the lines of, be wary of misinformation and blah, 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 blah. And so I reported that ad for misinformation. Because who is the arbiter of misinformation there, fucking Susan? Are you? Are you an expert? Please let us know your credentials for literally anything other than ruining a business. Is anyone at YouTube an expert at literally anything? No, you're not. You're all jokes of people running a fucking business that runs itself. All of you are completely fucking worthless. This is a worthless platform with worthless people in charge of it. Fuck all of you, and fuck you again, Susan. I know I'm screaming into the ether, but I don't give a shit. Fuck YouTube and fuck Susan.
I concur.
I'm just at the wailing wall here, just screaming my grievances.
I wonder if it actually mentions me submitting my... Nope. Doesn't say anything about me submitting the appeal. I wonder if I'll have to check it, through YouTube rather than through my email. Because, they age restricted my Minion stream after our most current vacation.
Yes. Our involuntary vacation, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Why does Susan keep on telling us to go on vacation? It's not fun.
It kept it in place.
Oh, yeah? They tell you why? Or did they just say, fuck you?
Let's see. After reviewing your content, we determined that Minions of the Zoo 1887, What Are You Doing Here, should agree to be age restricted. Or continued to be age restricted. As we think it's suitable, and then it kind of just...
mealy-mouthed and doesn't give you an actual explanation?
Well, it's like a half explanation. Click here to read more, and then it takes me to another page that has nothing to do with what I'm reading.
Yeah. I just love it, too, because, age restriction doesn't mean a goddamn thing. When YouTube... Why do you have a problem with some people's content, being age restricted, when you straight up have softcore porn on your platform? Why is that? I wonder.
Softcore porn doesn't rock the boat near as much, and it caters to the audience YouTube seems to be courting with.
What, children?
I
Children
was
who feel like
referring...
they're getting away with something? I mean, don't get me wrong. 13-year-old quiz would be amazed with YouTube. I mean, it would definitely give me some awakenings. I had to fucking sneak Skinamax, back in the 80s. So it's like, fuck it, man. It's all one-stop shop. I mean, you can watch your Spider-Man Elsa videos and softcore porn.
And those freaky injection videos.
If I want my weird shit, I got my places to go. I don't want it on YouTube. I watch YouTube for memes.
That's what the Christian Science Monitor is for.
Christian Science Monitor? What?
That's where you go to partake in your extracurricular videos.
Oh. Really? Christian Science Monitor has some porn videos?
No.
Oh. Well, now I'm disappointed.
No, I didn't get an email on this. It just...
They just said, no, fuck you. Yeah, no, they did that to me when they struck my channel with the copyright thing. Because I appealed to them saying, like, hey, it was a, closed stream. I wasn't even, fucking recording it or anything like that. It was a private stream. And they didn't even send me back, like, an honest review. It was just an automated, no, fuck you.
No, that's pretty much what this is, because I sent it early this morning, and I got it back at 9:30.
Yeah.
Because I made a video for P-Dog for his 1000th episode that's coming up. And I wanted to use the face rig, but for some reason it was acting all weird. So I just went with the straight. I was thinking I would probably Photoshop like my face on his.
Okay.
But there's nothing really I could do with it except for like take the facial hair. That's really all I could do with it. But I'm like, yeah, it's not going to look good, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as funny as when I took the Bane mask for my avatar for when the start of the Coof happened, and I did that for comic book curation.
That was a good one.
Yep. You thought you were born. No, you merely adopted it. I was born to it, molded by it.
Good lord.
My channel. I wonder if this will tell me.
Oh, if you're looking for like clarification on any of YouTube's rulings, guess again, dude. They're not going to tell you shit.
But I'm just wondering if there's any other place that they have this, because this little tiny square is not going to give me shit.
No, it's not. Because they
Yeah,
have to and they don't want to.
I do love how blatantly YouTube is, and all of Alphabet is just blatantly challenging antitrust law. They play willy-nilly with the existing regulations that keep them afloat. They actively and multiple times convicted by the EU have engaged in anti-competitive behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And every time that Congress tries, a bunch of California Democrats get a bunch of lovely book sales. I think you know where that is. Like 2 months of a true Teddy Roosevelt, Alphabet, Facebook / Meta / whatever the fuck you want to call it,
Sweet
would
Baby
be-
Ray's on a bookshelf, yeah.
would be broken into 1,000 tiny little pieces and spread to the wind. And then the media would whine about it for 10 years.
Well, media can suck my dick too.
You know, I understand you want to be an actor, but if the first thing I need to hear about you are your pronouns, I am not interested in anything that you have to do.
Agreed. As much as modern folk would think it's a joke, but I would prefer to see something like 3 Oscars, 4 Grammy winning actor. Because sure, those awards mean next to nothing now, but It's still technically a qualification.
Joshua Montgomery, I walked into a rant. Well, I mean, it's a fairly, roll of the dice for my night about, whether or not I'm going to be ranting. I have fairly strong opinions about the platform in which I am enslaved to. And I personally take great relish in the fact that I can subvert the platform while being on the platform. So YouTube can go fuck itself. Yeah, all of you lovely, lovely people, whether you agree with me or not, I don't care. I purely am alone in my endeavor to rant at the Wailing Wall, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
I mean, I could have guessed by the picture that's on the Comic-Con page, but like, come on.
What?
Just the picture that's on here. It's, let's see if I can bring it up. It mentions the show that he's a part of. Entertainment. Let's see here. Our flag means death.
Our flag means death. Okay.
And he's got turquoise hair and the mid-ear piercing ring thing.
Like mid-ear? Do you mean like in the internal lobe of the ear, like the internal cartilage area?
I think it's like around to the outside, or if it's a piercing, it's going from like the inner lobe out and around to the outer lobe.
Okay. Hard to grok what you're saying just by description alone, but I'll take it on faith.
That flagged me. Oh, good lord. Does this guy need a history lesson?
Huh?
I'm just understanding. Trying to come to. The phrase, our flag means death, I'm assuming is in reference to the American flag.
I have no idea.
I've never heard of this show, like at all. So I wouldn't
Let's
be able to tell you what it's about.
Let's venture on down to IMDb. Oh, and that's why Reese Darby's there. Let's see here. The year is 1717. Wealthy landowner Stead Bonnet has a midlife crisis and decides to blow up his cushy life to become a pirate. It does not go well, based on a true story.
Oh, pirates. Okay, never mind.
So
That's
my flag
okay.
means death with pirates. Yeah, that makes sense.
I thought it was some stupid tweet.
Oh. I know. Johnny's looking at Emerald City Comic Con and at the people that are going to be going there. So.
Taika Waititi's going to be in it as Blackbeard.
Wait, Watiki the director?
Yeah.
Why is he acting?
Because he can.
Edward Teach might be just a bit role. You'll find directors actually play bit roles quite a lot.
It's got Reese Darby in the lead, so that's going to be at least somewhat funny. Ewan Bremner's in it.
Do we need another funny pirate movie, though? Or is it a TV show?
I'm guessing it's going to be fun. Well, it looks like it's going to be a series. Streaming on HBO Max.
Also, it's been a good decade and change since we actually had a funny pirate show worth watching.
Well, I'm talking about mainly Pirates of the Caribbean. I think that
As
ship,
am I.
I think that ship, metaphorically and literally, has sailed.
Yes. With pirates torpedoing itself with its 4th and 5th entries, and then Amber Heard.
Oh, he's an executive producer. That's why he's in it.
Ah.
Oh, look, Leslie Jones is in it. More reasons for me not to watch it.
You mean the gorilla? We're going on vacation again for that one.
Yeah, but I agree. Fuck Leslie Jones. She's not funny. Nothing worse you can be than a comedian when you're not fucking funny. Now there's Melissa McCarthy. She's trying to be fucking Chris Farley. Stop it. You're not Chris Farley.
Well, and she's not playing characters. She's playing herself.
Well, she plays the same character in every fucking role. To be fair, so did Chris Farley. I'm just going to come out and say it. Maybe an unpopular thing to say because people have fond memories of Chris Farley's movies. Chris Farley always played the same fucking thing. He played Chris Farley. He didn't play anyone
He
else.
played Chris Farley. Yeah, no, it's... Yeah.
But at least Chris Farley was fucking funny. The shtick was funny.
I would think largely because the writers, directors, and producers knew Chris Farley was going to play Chris Farley. Design a role for Chris Farley.
Chris Farley, yeah. But you see, they're like the people that cast Melissa McCarthy try to be like pseudo-intellectual, but she's a fucking pratfall. That's her whole shtick, is the pratfall. And you can't make a pseudo-intellectual movie when your main character's extent of acting is to fall on her face and say, "Oh, that hurts." That is literally the extent of her ability to be funny or to act. And it really sucks too because like there was a movie with her and Jason Statham, and I felt so sorry for Jason Statham.
That was
He had to
such
carry,
an awkward movie.
Yeah, he had to carry that movie on his fucking shoulders. With Melissa McCarthy just sitting there just like writhing on the ground going in every scene. It's like, okay, thank you. Thanks for that.
It's movies like that that I believe the really successful actors are saying, I'm bored, I don't want to put too much effort into this, just give me a fucking paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think every actor has had to do one of those, at least.
Fucking Nicolas Cage has built an entire career out of it. And that's coming from someone who doesn't dislike Nicolas Cage. I fucking love Nicolas Cage. I think he's great. He has the talent to be a genuinely good actor. I just think that he chooses shit roles because either he's bored or he's just looking for a paycheck.
For who?
Nicolas Cage.
I mean, when uncanny and/or neurotic are parts of your resume, I think those sort of roles just come to him.
Yeah. There's one coming up that I actually do kind of want to see. And I am I am cautiously optimistic that it might be good. Now, we all know me for my my taste and my preferences. I like the grimdark. I like the gothic horror. My favorite book when it comes to classic literature is Dracula. There's a movie called Renfield that's a comedy horror, and it stars Nicolas Cage as Dracula.
Yeah, I watched the trailer for that. It actually, I'll say it actually does look pretty good.
It looks fairly funny. It looks interesting. Nicolas Cage is not chewing the scenery, or at least in the preview.
And was it Nicholas Hoult? Is that his name?
Yep.
He looks like he does pretty good with it as well.
Mm-hmm. He's pulling off the neurotic looking over his shoulder for something that's going bump in the night really well. Plus, I've seen his acting chops in the movie here recently that I think is amazing, and everyone should go and check out. A movie called The Menu. Now, I don't want to get too into it, because Sanguine might watch this VOD, and I want to show Sanguine this movie. Suffice it to say, it's a horror comedy that parodies Gordon Ramsay.
The Menu?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Awkwafina's in it. Yeah.
Who?
Some gal who I would say may have some acting. I wouldn't call it talent. I would say she has potential, but she needs to stop going by Awkwafina.
Okay.
If you want to be taken seriously as an actress.
She the Hispanic girl?
Asian.
Asian. Oh! Kind of older looking?
Not really. She was in Shang-Chi, if you'd seen that, which I doubt you did. But
I've written off Marvel in its entirety after fucking Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
She was in the reboot for Ocean's 11. Oh God! Just
actress.
I can't even look that up without.
Wait a second. She was in.
Whoever fucking.
She was in. Oh God! The fucking way she spells it too. It's weird. She was born Nora Lum.
Yeah.
That's her name. Who was she in? Fucking. The Menu.
Oh, she was in The Menu?
Oh, you're talking about Renfield. Okay, I thought you were mentioning The Menu. I thought you said that she was in The Menu. Okay, no, she.
Well, no, I just meant because I was going through Renfield's cast list. And I'm like, oh, she's in there.
Yeah, she's in Renfield. She's Rebecca Quincy, and I think you can see her in the trailer for it. She's the cop. That kind of befriends Renfield after he stops that robbery in the restaurant.
Yeah. No, it's funny because I was watching a podcast. I don't remember who I was even, like, how it even popped up in my thing, but they were talking about how she was putting on black scent.
Black scent?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was using black scent to bring up her career, and it's like, and they're like, this is how she talks, and I'm like, in all the interviews, I've never heard her talking like this, like
talking like the thing. Well, okay, she's got a Comedy Central series called Awkwafina is Nora from Queens.
Yeah.
Which is funny because her birth name is Nora Lum.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's a little on the nose.
And the only thing I can think of is that's how I hear people from Queens talking. That's not like black.
It has nothing
scent.
to do with black. It has everything to do with Queens.
That has to do with New York. That is a them thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you guys making me defend this? Like,
yeah. And also, by the way, the reason why the Awkwafina thing is so funny, number one, it's because that's a water brand made by PepsiCo. Number two, it's how it's spelled. AWKWAFINA.
Awkward Fina.
Mm-hmm.
Shut.
So, I don't know. It's kind of like, you know, Zendaya going as one word.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's whatever.
I don't know. From what I've seen of her stuff, she's got talent, but she has no story that's been given to her that would give that talent purpose. Get the fuck off the computer.
I don't want to. I'm streaming.
Oh, my cat decided she was just gonna play the detour route and just jump over my lap into the computer screen.
Into the computer screen.
Yeah.
Maybe, hopefully, Renfield will be a departure for her and she can actually spread her chops.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic because, you know, Dracula is near and dear to me. I love it. So, but I'm also not quite so pretentious where a comedy adaptation of Dracula is going to offend me, so.
Well, and even just going by the trailer itself, it doesn't look like. I mean, he's gonna be grandiose because I mean it's Nicolas Cage,
Of course.
but not so much where it's. Shut the fuck up.
But I don't want to. I'm on stream.
Did you hear the cat?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
A damn cat.
but yeah,
And now we all
it'll be
understand why he has the epithet Hellcat.
Yes. It's going to be grandiose to the fact that where he's going to be playing. Well, he's going to be playing Dracula.
Yeah.
As it is, but
He was also going to be playing the villain. What was the last time you remember seeing Nicolas Cage playing the villain? I can tell you where I last saw Nicolas Cage playing the villain. Face Off. And I love that movie. That movie is literally Nicolas Cage and John Travolta trying to outact each other. And it's hilarious.
I wonder if they like stage perform that, or well, not like stage perform, but like God, what the hell is it called? When you try to get into the character.
Fuck.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Method acting.
Method acting. Yeah, if they're like, we're gonna spend 3 months together, and we're gonna get each other's mannerisms down
To a T. The one that immediately comes to mind that always makes me laugh is I want to take his face off. That's the one that always gets me. I love that one. But anyway, everyone, we've been going for an hour, and I think it's about time we call it for the night. Some pretty appreciable work done on my knob for my commandos here, so hopefully I'm gonna finish them up, maybe off stream in this next week. Trying to get my orcs ready for a boarding patrol mission. I want to do that next weekend, so who knows? Maybe we might play a game on stream. It'll all depend on whether or not I can get SCP over here. But we've been your Minions of the Zoo. Thank you for coming and watching some paint dry. Be sure to watch tomorrow where Adam is going to be the host, Mr. Adam, with his arcade.
Who just showed up?
He just showed up. God damn it, Adam!
I'm sorry.
Coming in right at the end, my man. Coming in right at the end.
I was waiting for the paint to dry, so.
Oh yeah, you know it's yeah. But yeah, be sure to watch tomorrow.
And the same with Camel.
And Camel too. Right at the end. You motherfuckers. You motherfuckers. Both of you. Both of you motherfuckers. Oh wait a minute. No, Camel's night. Camo's not in the chat.
Yeah, he is.
Not in the. Well, he might be in the chat, but not.
Oh no, he's not in the thing. He's in the chat.
Okay. So yeah, we've been your minions. Thank you all for coming out, watching some paint dry. Be sure to watch tomorrow, where Adam is going to be the host, playing some Brediogrames. Maybe yeah, you'll see some Terry Diamantis. You might see some Johnny Hellcat if he can show up and play some Brediogrames. We will see. We will see.
Hold on.
What's
Johnny Hellcat. Johnny, first off, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Second off, you're gonna sit there, you're challenging boop a doo boop 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 boop. You're gonna challenge me or Terry?
I always challenge Terry.
Alright.
I just never usually win.
he's deceptively good. He is deceptively good.
Me neither. So yeah, I was.
Am I the only one that actually beats Terry?
You beat Terry?
I beat Terry. I did it on your stream, my guy.
We're gonna have to get that fighting tournament set up.
Yes, we should. We should.
We gotta get those people together.
Yes.
Yep. We have top men working on that.
Yes.
Top men.
Well, tell them to get the fuck on it.
Highest rated. But yeah, anyway, we've been your minions. Thank you all for coming out. Watch this pay try. Be sure to watch tomorrow, where Adam is gonna be playing some Brediogrames. And that's it, everyone. Take care. The zoo's closed.
Night.
Good night.